Okay, so we have this figure over to the left. If you put this little box together, it'll form a rectangular prism. So our first part, it asks us to write the length y in terms of x. So notice from here to here is y. From here to here is y. They tell us that this entire side is 20 inches. So that means this y plus this y plus y plus this x value and this x value, so that's x plus x is 20. That means 2y plus 2x is 20. So let's solve for y. We're going to move this over. So this is minus 2x. And then just divide through by 2. So that means y is 10, because 20 divided by 2 is 10, minus x. So this is how you write the length in terms of x. So let me show you how to write the volume of the box. Before I show you, try to give me the formula. We just found that this side, right here, from here to here, is 10 minus x. We know that this part is x. Do we know what this part is equal to? Okay, can you guys do the same formula? The same way that I found out what this side was, can you guys figure out what this length is? Okay, so from here to here, let's figure out what that length is. So I know this from here to here is 10. That's what they tell me. So I know that 10 is this x and this x. So that's 2 x's. And I don't know what this part is. This is a mystery. Okay, so let's get this mystery part by itself. Just subtract 2x. So I know that this has to be 10 minus 2x. Or this whole length is 10, and you have to take away this x and this x to get the remaining part, 10 minus 2x. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so that's the width. We found the length. We found the width, which we said was 10 minus 2x, and we have the height. We have the height, which is x. So if you want to do the formula for volume, you just do length times width times height. So x times 10 minus x times 10 minus 2x. This will give you the volume. That is your formula for the volume. Okay, now let's answer this question here. What domain would make sense? I'm going to pause here and let you talk with the people at your table. What can the x values be? What can the x values be? Okay, y'all had a good discussion. So I heard a lot of people first, you guys said 10. Why did we say 10 would not work? Because if you put a 10 right here, that would cause this parentheses to be negative. We cannot have negative volume. We said 5. If you plug in a 5 here, this becomes 0, because 10 minus 10 is 0. You can't have 0 for your volume. So we said that you could be between 0 and 5, but not including 0 and 5. Okay? If you plug in a number bigger than 5, like 6, this last parentheses would be negative. You cannot plug in a 6 right here, because this would become negative 2. You can't have negative volume. Okay? So only the numbers between 0 and 5 would work. There was also a question thrown out if you can use negatives. Well, let's try a negative. If I plug in a negative right here, like a -1, this would become 11. If you plug in a -1 right here, this would become 12. And then this, if you plug in a negative, it'd become -1. You cannot have negative volume, so no negative numbers would work. Okay, so we walked through how to do this problem. I'm going to give you guys this one. So for this one, hopefully you paused the video if you're watching from home. All right, so this part, this is 40. So guys, you have x plus another x. Those are two x's. And you have this part and this part. Those are two y's equaling 40. So we're going to solve for y. So you're going to subtract 2x and we'll divide by 2. So that means I know the length is 20 minus x. So that's one side. That's this side right here. To get this side right here, this part of the box, the width, do 12, which is the whole thing. Take away this x and take away this x. So 12 minus 2 x's will give you this width. And you know the height is x. So the volume is going to be the height, x, times the width, 12 minus 2x, times the length, 20 minus x. And it says it wants a volume of at least 600 inches cubed. So you want to be bigger than or equal to 600. So that is your formula for the volume. All right, guys, what domain makes sense? Don't think about the inequality. If there's no restriction, what would the domain have to be? Just like the last problem. Yes. It would be from 0 to 6. We're not thinking about this constraint for this problem. Okay, so what you guys are doing in Schoology, go to the Unit 5 folder, and the practice you are completing is page 153. You're doing questions 1 through 10.